I was listening to the story about, it was a story of a family in Washington, and the little boy called the Bigfoot the Cowboy Man. And he had, apparently it had made an effort to steal this kid. And it hit me. My children were in that playpen behind me with nothing but a mosquito net over them. It could have crept up behind me and taken both of my children, and I wouldn't have known.
Father just got like a Mustang or something from Wyoming, okay? He had it out in the corral because he couldn't put it in the barn in the stalls with the other horses. It would kick and made all the other horses nervous. Had a Seminole Indian working the horse trying to break it every day. So they had it out in the corral. This skunk ape snuck up behind this horse and grabbed it on its hindquarters. This particular horse kicks out, jumps over the corral, runs into the pasture, to get away. At this point, the rancher's out there just blasted away with the 30-30. Skunk ape runs into the swamp.
I went up there one day after that, or 2 days after that. I went up there and sat in silence up there, and I'm telling you, man, it was free. It was crazy. There was a crazy vibe up there still. I did what I could to kind of get things under control, but I told her, I said, you need to get off this property. I feel like no matter how strong you are, it's almost like standing in the ocean. You can't stand still without moving your feet. You're going to get knocked over eventually, no matter how strong, whatever. You can't withstand a barrage of weird spiritual energy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Paranormal Odyssey. I am Wayne, your host, joined as always by my partner in crime, the lovely and talented Miss Tiffany S. Duran. How you doing, ma'am?
Good. Gonna have to widen my door. You said I was talented. You just see me as cheesy and a dork.
Had to widen your door? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because you're gonna like swell my head up.
Well, I mean, you're an author, you're a podcaster, you're the producer of a couple of podcasts. You got it going on.
Well, I just don't look at that. I'm just me.
You're also a wife of 20 plus years, a mother, a grandmother. So yeah, your plate is full. You do a great job.
I have a big plate. But I appreciate that. Yes.
How you been?
Good. We had a busy day trying to upkeep the house, and I have to finish tomorrow. It really doesn't look like I did anything. But tomorrow's another day. So
yeah, I mean, I can imagine the upkeep on your house is hell because y'all got a big ass house.
Yeah, we have almost 3,000 square feet. So it's just three of us.
It's a beautiful home. I've never been there, but I've seen the pictures of it. You guys should be very, very proud.
Oh, yes. Our Genesis story is one for the books. So, I mean, it's a lot of hard work and dedication and commitment and sacrifice, and that's a lot of everything.
Yeah. All right, I'm excited about tonight's show. I know you are.
Yes. And I talked to him on the phone today, and we talked for a little while, and I told him, I said, our guests that we have come on, they're so patient and they're so kind, because he reached out to me April 8th. And so we had communicated back and forth, and, he was supposed to have been on a couple weeks ago, and then you were sick, and then I had no internet. And he was, I emailed him and I was just like apologizing all over the place because he had been waiting for so long already. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I hated that happened. He had been waiting a long time. And the night before he was supposed to come on, I come down with some stomach bug or something. I was down. I was running to the bathroom every 15 minutes. It was terrible. And I asked, hopefully you would be able to kick it solo, but you had the internet issues going on. So we had to reschedule and didn't want to push him out a couple of months. So we we were able to work him in to get him in fairly quick, and I'm glad that we were able to. I say all of that, and then I look down and see that he is no longer backstage.
Well, I know he's stressing because it was a storm coming in.
Yeah.
And he was on his front porch, so I'm sure he's clamoring to get everything back together.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get back on, and we'll take our time getting through all of this and give him a chance to get back on, because he's a talented dude.
Oh yes, 100%.
He's an artist. He draws Bigfoot, cryptids, and stuff. We've got several pictures there. It looks like he's back.
Yeah,
we've got several of his pictures that we're going to be sharing tonight. Dude is talented.
Oh my gosh.
Not only that, but he is extremely talented at growing beards.
Yes.
First thing I said to him was I had to give him props on his beard. He's got me beat, and it's pretty impressive what he's working with. He gave me some tips. Hopefully, I'll catch him.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I mean, the best I got is this,
Oh, and his is longer than that.
It's longer than mine.
But yeah, he's a very, very talented dude. We've got some of his pictures that we're going to be sharing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We do have, I put everything I could find on there, and you're going to see on some of the pictures, it does say AI on the side, but that is because he animates them and puts them out on his Facebook. And there are a lot of Chris Millers. So this is AOS, Chris Miller. And that is Art of Survival or All Over Sasquatch. He'll explain that when he comes out. But there are a lot of Chris Millers. So you do have to specify, put AOS, but you will find his stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to share that with you and all of that good stuff. But before we do, as always, let's pay some bills.
Let's do it, big man.
Are you calling me fat?
As soon as the words fell out of my mouth, I was like, he's going to go sideways with that. I just know it.
It's okay. I am fat. I'm fluffy. I carry it well.
You're fluffy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's change the topic. Let's change the subject to hitting that subscribe button. If you are new to the channel tonight, thank you very much. We would like for you to hang out and come back. Please hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, all of that good stuff. Tell your mom and them, family, your friends to do the same thing. Help us continue to grow. But it starts with hitting that subscribe button.
And the like button as well. And we ask that you hit the like button because it shows Wayne and I, hey, this is what I really like to see you guys cover. So if you just throw a like up there, then we get it.
Yep.
So if you would like to be on with Wayne and I, you can reach out to both of us, Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com or me, Tiffany at paranormalworldproductions.com. Every encounter is important, even if it's just a noise. We will add it all to the data bank and compare. So just reach out to one of the two of us and we will get back to you.
Absolutely. Paranormalworldproductions.com is our website. We invite you to head over there and check it out. All the shows under the studio's umbrella. Pick you up some merch. Become a member of the newsletter over at Sasquatch Odyssey. We would greatly appreciate that. But head over to paranormalworldproductions.com and check it out, please.
And if you have any questions for our guest, and we say this every week, but if you're new, we always ask you guys if you just put them in all capital letters so we can grab them. We highlight them and put them in a special place until the end of the show. We do a rapid fire answer, question and answer session. I don't know why I struggled to say that, but I did. So there it is. And then we do that at the end of the show. So all questions, just put it in capital letters and we'll grab them.
Yes, very, very good. And before we get to them, we want to talk about a couple of things. The first being the membership. We're done with our giveaway and everything, but we are still doing the membership. We would love to have you sign up. It's $1.99 a month. You get all kind of extra content, extra members only shows. We have a Discord, movie night, all that cool stuff. It's just $1.99 a month. If you are interested in that, we would absolutely love to have you. Also, some of you have noticed that Tiffany and I have been doing the missing persons case files. We've been working hard at getting those videos out. Every Monday, we will be releasing to podcast our new missing persons case files that we've covered. And we've been putting some videos out to YouTube as well. Getting some good feedback on those. You guys seem to be enjoying it. But yeah, we would like those of you that aren't familiar with it to check it out. And if y'all don't mind, I'm going to share the intro. I'll play the intro to that real quick, just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect over there. But yeah, here you go. Missing Persons Case Files intro. Welcome to Missing Persons Case Files, a place where the gone are not the forgotten. What's happening in the forests of North America? How are so many people disappearing only to have their remains found much later, or in many cases, not at all? Are the predators to blame? Giant hair-covered beasts? Or even more terrifying, us as humans? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's neither. These are just a few of the questions we'll look to uncover here on the Missing Persons Case Files. Yeah, we have done 4 of those videos so far, and they have all been children, just completely heartbreaking. Just some of them have been really disturbing. Like we can't really explain what is going on, but something is going on in our national parks, our state parks, our recreation areas here in North America. People are vanishing, and it's not making any sense.
No.
Some like most of the ones we've covered aren't even being found. I mean, no remains are being found, and I just don't know how you can explain that.
It doesn't make any sense at all. And I've been looking at cases like on Superstition Mountain. There was one I had found. I've looked up so many, I don't want to mix up the names and the cases, but he was an actual park ranger himself, and he's been missing for 40 years, just gone.
Yeah. That was his job.
Yes. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's everywhere you look. It's state parks, and I mean it's everywhere. Makes no sense.
Yeah, but guys, this is a segment, a series that Tiffany and I are proud of. We've been putting a lot of work into it. There are 4 videos out right now. I hope that you guys will go and check those out. Been doing the missing persons for a little while now, and I've not gotten anyone that has told me they don't like it or they want us to stop. Most people are saying they want more of it. So that's why we're doing it. If it takes off and becomes a whole new channel on its own, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just starting it out here. We're going to be doing it over on the Paranormal Odyssey channel. What's going on with Chris? Are you talking to him?
Yep, I am. I'm trying not to be unprofessional and like look down at my phone and look up at the screen, but he's typing. I sent him a message. I was like, are you doing okay? So I don't know if he's having issues, because Lord knows we know what that's like.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, he's currently typing. He said, I'm having some technical difficulties. Not sure if it's the storm or what. I'm trying to use Wi-Fi that's not doing so well. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to restart my phone to see if that helps.
Okay. Well, while he's doing that, let's share some of his pictures.
Yes. Oh, my lands, you guys are not even ready. They're so good.
Guys, we tried to tell you that this dude is talented, but we're about to prove it. Let's look at this one. Look at that. I wish I could do that.
Oh my gosh, I know. And I'm telling you, like I said before the show, the guy at the top left, I mean, that's where it's at.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude.
Yeah. I mean, he's like the Fabio of Bigfoot.
I mean, look at him. I mean, yeah, the guy on the bottom row in the middle, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
He looks a little confused.
He looks like one of those little cave dwellers.
Yeah. That's a face that only Mama Bigfoot can love.
100%.
Let's keep going. Wow. Salute, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, but what I noticed on this one was the older gentleman. On the far right in the middle, he's got some gray hair. That Bigfoot has seen some stuff. He's been around for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the definition, all the little details that he constructs in their face. Like, they all have simple but separate facial expressions.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool. Let's go to the next one. There's Fabio again.
Yeah. Bigfoot Fabio.
He's a good looking dude.
He is a good looking dude.
All right, there's your guy in the middle, Dogman.
That's my favorite one. He is shredded.
He does some crunches, don't he?
I'm telling you, that is where it's at.
Chris is talented. He is good at what he does.
Yeah.
There's some more, and there you said that was Chris Carpenter over there, right?
Carpenter.
Carpenter. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys, we're just trying to buy some time until Chris gets back. It looks like he just popped in, but I'm not seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna wait a minute. I apologize, guys. You know that.
There he is.
There he is. Let's go ahead and there we go. Take that off and see if we can get Chris on, and maybe it will work out.
Maybe.
I'm not seeing anything in
the bottom. There he is.
There it is. What's up, buddy?
Nope, he's frozen. But you can check out his beard. This is what I was talking about.
Beard. How sexy is that beard? Yeah, I don't know, guys. I apologize. I'm very, very sorry. Let's put him backstage until he can get it worked out a little bit, and we will continue to show some pictures. We showed that one.
Mm-hmm.
And we showed that one.
Yeah.
This one I wanted to ask him about.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him about the faces in the trees and what's up with that, because we tend to hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
People talking about seeing faces in trees. I don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he could explain that. Next one, we got another creepy ass dog man. Imagine being camping with your buddies and going out to take a leak and walking up on that.
No. See, Tiffany likes to write about them and read about them. That's as close as she wants to get.
That's right. This next guy, he's just peering into your soul.
Yeah, like look at the definition. Like even the little nose divot.
Yeah. Damn.
He's definitely got the facial characteristic definition, everything in there.
And this next one is probably my favorite. And I wanted to talk to him about this one in particular. But look at that little one.
So cute.
Look at those feet.
And he's like looking at his feet like, oh my gosh, they're so big. Mom.
Like, damn, they are big, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That's cute as hell.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, he's wise. Been around for a while.
He's been around the Bigfoot block a time or two.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the in every picture you show. I mean, he's got the no neck. I mean, in every picture. Yep.
Yeah, that seems to be reported all the time, everywhere. Mm-hmm. There is no neck.
No neck at all.
Look at this guy. That's a face only Mama Bigfoot can love.
Yeah. He looks like his name might be George or something.
He's thinning.
My name is George. George the Bigfoot.
What do you have against Georges?
I don't. Yeah. It's just one of those names that came up in my head.
Every George out there, I apologize. Okay, I'm sorry that Tiffany hates you.
If your name is George, I'm not coming for you. I promise. It's just this random name, and it popped. We can name him like freaking Roscoe.
No, but you said George.
It doesn't have to stick, though. I mean, there's a plethora.
There you go. He's been working out.
Yes. I mean, his bicep and that left arm is so shredded. It doesn't even have fur.
Well, that's his right arm.
Oh, it is, isn't it? I'm looking at it backwards. I just think I'm going to shut up. I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to.
And our last one, yeah, he's a good-looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, all the stories you hear, people reporting, this is what they tend to report.
Yep. Look, Scott Trent said his name could be Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Bob. See? So if your name's Bob, we're not coming for you either.
All right, we still don't have a Chris.
Nope.
Stage. We may have to work on rescheduling him again. I hate that. I know we've been looking forward to it. He has been looking forward to it. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I don't know. I just sent him a message. So it's that awkward moment where you're live and everybody's like just staring at you intently. And you're just like, do 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 do.
Well, let's talk about the poll question.
Yeah, let's play that poll question.
Tonight's poll question: is the Ohio Howl an actual Sasquatch? Right now, 71% of you say yes. 29% of you say no. So what we are going to do is, I don't know if I hope a lot of you guys, most of you guys that watch or listen to Paranormal Odyssey also listen to that Bigfoot podcast, because Brian and I have been talking about this recently about the Ohio Howl. Someone emailed in and said that they had always thought that the Ohio Howl was not a Bigfoot, that it was this hand-cranked air raid siren. And I myself have always said, every time I hear the Ohio Howl, it sounds like a siren. So, if y'all don't mind, what we're going to do, we're going to play the Ohio Howl for you. And then we are going to play an actual air raid siren and see if you guys can tell the difference. That might take a second to get going, but yeah, let's try this. There we go. This is their Ohio house. Okay, and this is.
Oh, Wayne, we didn't hear anything, honey.
How did you not hear anything?
Well, I was just waiting for the sound to come up.
It was playing the whole time, and I was hearing it over.
I didn't hear it.
Could you guys hear it?
Did y'all hear it? Am I just like suddenly going deaf?
Because it was playing in my headphones.
Well, apparently Troy heard it.
Yeah.
Oh, Lady said no. Resto said no.
Well, hell.
J Police said no. Zach said no. There's a lot of no's dropping in here.
Y'all don't hear that.
No, like a little. Oh, there we go. We heard like a blip.
Let's try it again. I cut it up a little bit.
Nah. It was playing fine before the show.
Yeah. I don't think God wants us to do a show tonight. Shit.
Shit on a cracker.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of that.
I don't either. Yeah, because it was playing perfectly fine before the show.
I can hear it through my headphones. It should be coming through.
Yeah, it's just like it's very faint, and what we hear is like broken up.
Yeah. Shit. Let me try to play the air raid.
Or that.
So y'all could hear that.
Yeah, we could hear that.
Okay, well, let me just go to YouTube and see if playing it.
Of course, there's an ad. Member prices and rewards for future trips.
Okay, the Ohio Hell in Columbiana County, Ohio, 1994. Can you hear it? Can't hear it?
No, and you're kind of staticky now.
Oh, that's just pissing me right the hell off.
Just rot the hell off.
Anyway, oh well, that's your poll question tonight on this show that is not working.
But Chris came back.
All right, let's see if we can get Chris back. There you go. There you go. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Can you hear me? I'm doing good. How you guys doing? Is
not
it good
bad,
now?
not bad. While we've got, I think so. While we've got you, just start at the beginning, buddy. Tell us what got you interested in Bigfoot, and yeah, just take off.
Okay. For me personally, it started when I was a kid. I just kind of heard it maybe 5 or 6. I heard some adults talking about it, and it just blew my brain that they could still go to work and knowing that there's this thing out in the woods possibly. So that's kind of where it started. I wanted to know where it fit in the Bible. I felt like it could fit a handful of places, from the Nephilim to the Mark of Cain to Cain and Abel. Let's see. So I mean, it could literally be any one of those places, and I never would entertain the woo side of Bigfoot until, I don't know, about 2 years ago, and I started to look at it, and I can't say that I'm full woo yet, but it does make a lot of sense, and it explains a lot of stuff. So, I kind of go where the evidence takes me. I found an X structure behind my shop. It's still standing, so that's been about 3 years ago now. I mean, it was perfect. I mean, no doubt about it. Pretty obvious. It wasn't natural. I'm one of them guys that I want to rule out everything. I don't want it to be Bigfoot. I really didn't want to move to the country and have these guys say, "Oh, he heard a whippoorwill and he thought it was a Bigfoot," or something like that. So I really tried really hard to rule it out. But when I heard that noise, I was sitting exactly where I'm sitting right now, and I've told this story quite a few times now. But my wife and I had kind of gotten into a little spat, and I was just kind of letting her, kind of cool off, go to bed, and so I'm watching YouTube videos, and this thing lets out with I'll try to mimic it. It goes. I mean, it was twice as long, felt like 10 times louder, and it didn't match anything I've ever heard in the woods. And I've logged some hours in the woods. I was infantry, so we spent a fair amount of time in the woods. I'm kind of a survivalist guy. It's one of my favorite things to do. Just go look for rocks or critters or just being out there. I'm an outside guy. I don't like being inside. So as you can tell, technology doesn't like me.
Before we go any further, Chris, thank you very much for your service. I appreciate that greatly.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Let's talk about, how did you get into drawing Bigfoot? I mean, do you draw Bigfoots that people have contacted you and talked to you and told you what they saw? How has that worked?
Okay, so after I heard the noise, it really kind of messed me up, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I told my friends, I'm an extrovert, and my buddy comes over about 2 weeks later to go deer hunting. He hears the same noise in my backyard, and I didn't hear it. So he's a completely different cat than me. He got a totally different personality. So when he came in and tells me, "Yeah, I heard that noise," I'm like, "Yeah, sure you did. Nice try." And I could tell he did. So from there, we both started looking on YouTube, Google. I mean, you name it. We were all over listening to animal noises and stuff. So from there, I went on the Kerry Arnold was the Bigfoot Odyssey, and he had mentioned he wanted somebody to draw what he saw, and I volunteered. And because I wasn't really into tech yet, the email that it would have required was too much. It was this big scary monster, and I didn't email him, and he passed away about a month later. And it really just stuck with me, and it spurred me. It really got me going. Between that noise, Carrie, and then the app that I use, those three things, and then kind of telling my backstory on YouTube was another. It's like all four of those things kind of like hit all at the same time. So when it comes to the drawings, I really wanted to set out to draw people's encounters, but I couldn't find anybody that had a good, eyewitness. So I've listened to thousands over the years, so I kind of had an idea of what I thought it should look like, and I started there. I'd hop on. I've got some friends that make AI images, and I'd kind of look over what they were doing, and different pictures and different posts, and it's kind of artistic license. It's a little bit from everywhere, and I try really hard to draw it different every time, because I really wanted a resource that hopefully in the future, people could turn to. They could look at my work and say, oh, it was a lot like this thing, but it had this one's eyes, or they could kind of put what they saw together. So I've locked in kind of unofficially with Bigfoots of Michigan to draw encounters. I've actually only drawn maybe 2 out of all the hundreds I've done. I'd say it's probably about 2 encounters that were secondhand. I'll see if I can find it if we get a little dead air, I guess.
Okay. Now you're in Missouri, right?
Yep. South Central Missouri.
Now, Tiffany tells me you quite possibly have had some activity going on your property, right?
Yes. So past the noise, I ran out. It actually scared me so bad that I could hear my heartbeat just bam, bam, pounding in my ears. And I've never been that scared before. And I've never, I've been in some situations where I should have been, and I wasn't that scared. So I really had the idea it might have been a Bigfoot, because it was that long and loud. And so I ran out there real quick after I kind of, gained my composure. And I said, I don't care if this kills me. I got to see what it is. And I see my cat at the end of my sidewalk, and he's zeroed into this tree. And I can tell he's kind of sketched out. He's looking left, he's looking right. And that cat actually went missing that night. Oh. But he just kind of, he looked right, and that's where he locked in. So that was it. That for, I don't know, maybe I lost track, maybe a month or 2 after that. I took my son in the woods, and it was kind of a bad day. I was just trying to, oh, I'm dad, you're going to do what I say kind of type thing, and kind of regulate a little bit. And so I took the binoculars, and I was going to teach him some survival stuff. And I was getting ready to show him, and I put the binoculars up to my eyes, and they were perfectly in focus. I mean, they were just right ready to go. And I said, what the hell? And I really try not to cuss in front of him. And he looked up and he said, what is it, Daddy? And the way he said that made me nervous, because I know he knew something was up. So I really didn't know how to tell him. Because I've had pareidolia before in the woods. And if you've ever had it, then you know what I'm talking about. You will literally have a standoff with something, that you don't know what it is, and neither one of you's blinking. And, after a while, you just say, okay, I got to see. And you start advancing. And it really kind of takes some guts to to advance on an imaginary thing. But, I laugh about it, but it's true. I've talked to a few people where that's happened. I don't think that's what this was. But basically, it looked like a white oak tree had fallen over, and I could see a head kind of 3/4 looking at me, kind of out of the corner of its eye. And I could just see that head sticking up. And I didn't like it. I didn't get a good feeling out of it. Kind of like with the noise. It wasn't a good feeling. It wasn't like a, you hear people have good experiences, and neither one of those were good. I had a .22 pistol on my hip because I had my son with me, and I was tempted to send him back to the house. And I hate that I say that, but it was the truth. I really toyed with the idea. It's like, could he make it? And, and I said, no, let's just go. So I walked him back to the house. I think I went back out there the next day or two, and it's basically a washout, like a wet weather. A lot of water runs down that. So this thing could have been standing in that ravine. And that's what I think. And that's most of what I've seen. But I have had lots of animals. A couple years ago, I found 2 does and 2 armadillos within like a 20-foot maybe circle, 20, 30-foot circle, which I thought that was kind of odd. I'm not a poacher. I do hunt, not heavily.
You mean they were dead in that circle?
Yep. There's some backstory with this property too that I don't really know how to explain it other than the aunt that we moved in to take care of. She was into some, I'll just say occult stuff, tarot card readings, palm readings. It kind of went from there. I don't really understand all of it. It was a lot. I found a lot of things that just give me the heebie-jeebies. And there's a couple of Bigfoot stories that come with property. My neighbors found from their property, they were kind of looking over the fence and they looked like I believe it's a 9-point buck. I've got a picture of it somewhere where the head's almost, let's see, I always get my bearings wrong. I want to say 180, a full 180, maybe more. Like it was almost a full rotation. It wasn't quite a full one, I don't think, but it looked pretty. It takes a lot of strength to twist a deer's head like that. If you've ever had to, deal with one.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a new hunter. I didn't do it growing up, so I kind of adopted it when I got out of the Army, and I've kind of taught myself what I'm doing, and I've got a few, and I was scared to get out in the woods, and I finally did. I got over it, and I really want to explain to anybody that watches my content. It's multi-purpose. It's I really didn't like the way technology is going, and I didn't like that we've handed our speech over to something that doesn't understand sarcasm, or it flags a lot of stuff. It's got double standards. Some stuff can go through, but some stuff has to get stopped. So I really have a problem with that. I gave 4 years of my life, and I know guys that gave the ultimate, so we could have what we're doing right now,
Exactly.
So it means a lot to me. To me, I give everything for my freedom, or yours, whether you agree with me or disagree.
No, we appreciate that very much.
Yeah,
very, very much so. Greatly appreciate it.
I got lucky. I didn't have to see any combat. I did a peacekeeping mission to Kosovo. A couple little minor deployments, but I got really lucky. My unit after 9/11, they went to Iraq. So I believe we lost 18. I think it's 18 guys, and I'm gonna feel horrible if I got that wrong.
Yeah, it's too many.
So yeah, there's a lot. I'm trying to cram all this in. I know we've only got maybe an hour or two, and there's a lot to talk about. Catch people up on that are new. So
yeah.
It's a lot.
Chris, I'm curious. What do you think? Your opinion. What do you think Bigfoot is?
Okay, so I have a unique kind of, one day I'm this, the next day I'm this, you know, and
Yeah.
it's kind of that's the enigma of Bigfoot, you know, and that's why we like it so much, I think, and why it intrigues us. But my theory is, in Genesis 6, it talks about the Nephilim, and it says, you know, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also afterwards. I think Bigfoot is a giant, and I think that it could also be potentially fallen angel offspring. So it would be part fallen angel, part giant, part human, possibly, maybe even part critter. Who knows? Because they were messing around with, you know, DNA and stuff. So me personally, you have the good Bigfoot experiences where people say that it helped them up a hill, or it took a leg off, or a log off their leg, or I mean, there's some really fantastic stories that I really believe these people are telling the truth. I don't think they're lying, and I believe them. So you have the good experiences, and then you have the bad ones. And I think
Yeah.
that, you know, when people encounter an angel in the Bible, they're short circuited. You know, they just like check out, and there's usually fear involved. And the angel says, you know, fear not. You know, and I mean, that's exactly what I would describe of both of my experiences. Um, so, you know, I realize there's a lot of people out there that really don't have this side of the, you know, maybe their faith, or, you know, the Bible, you know, I'll just say knowledge about it, but I've looked into it a lot, and I don't think it's overall necessarily a good thing. Um, but I do believe that God has a plan for them as well. And I think that some of them, they did the bad thing. You know, they had sex with, you know, human women, and then the offspring were giants. And then I think some of them potentially could be, um, let's just say, they're trying to they're trying to live a good life. They're trying to be good because there might be hope for them, and that's the best I can come up with. And that's, you know, 35 years of reading books and listening to encounters, and you know,
Yeah.
I've never found a footprint. You know, I have seen some structures that even here on my property that are pretty convincing. Um, I've got a tree out there that, I mean, this could be an Indian thing, but it literally comes up like this. It looks like a slingshot, and it's just the way it's done. It's not natural. And I was a landscaper for probably 20 years or more, so you know, I kind of have a unique insight, you know, with trees and whatnot. But
Oh yeah.
being a survivalist, I understand what's out there, and you know, we're always surrounded by wild food. Always, you know, I've never really been too many places where I just couldn't come up with something that I could eat in my AO. Some kind of critter, some kind of, you know, plant. We have a lot of stuff here. We got blackberries, gooseberries, mulberries, wild blueberries. You know, there's blackberry here. There's mountain lion. I've never seen either one, but I've found black bear poop multiple times. I found black bear prints 20 foot from my shop. Uh, so if it can support a bear, you know, and mountain lion together, I would think that, you know, I believe that Bigfoot is most likely kind of can walk on both sides, this, for lack of better words. You know, I don't think that they just disappear using camouflage. You know,
Yeah.
being infantry, I kind of got to see that in action, and it's amazing. Camouflage is amazing. I'll give you that. It is amazing. But I mean, it's just too many times where they're just gone.
Yeah.
Where'd they go? Following footprints, and they're just boop, they just check out. Like
It's gone. Yep.
it's just quit making.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
tracker too. I'm
that's something that's always, bothered me is, you hear the stories of like in fresh snow. You're following this trackway and then all of a sudden it stops. How does that happen?
Your guess is as good as mine. I there's lots of times where I've seen people and they think they're tracking something, and it's not what they think. That I think that happens a lot. And I'm not trying to get down on anybody. They mean well, and it does look like a foot, but the way black bear walk, they have two different shaped feet, and when they stack up and one print goes on top of the other one, it can look like an actual foot, right? A bigger foot. So I see that side of it. I'm not trying to be a skeptic, but I really didn't. I really want people to take this topic seriously, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't think that coming out of me. I mean, if you've even seen 5 of my reels, they're just so far out there that I'm just having fun with it. I'm trying to not get so caught up in because the Church of Bigfoot, you can really, pick an angle and you will exclude all this other evidence over here, right? So some people talk about orbs in Bigfoot, and I used to kind of laugh at that. And Dogman. I used to laugh at Dogman for a long time, and I just thought, oh, those are just bored Bigfooters, right? They just got bored with Bigfoot. They needed a new creature. Well, I've heard some of those encounters, and I believe them just as much as I believe the Bigfoot ones. I really believe that people want to tell the truth. They don't want to lie, and it takes a lot. I know how hard it is, to tell your family at Thanksgiving, hey, I heard something that scared me. I don't know what it was. Here's another piece of the puzzle. I met a guy who lives 4 miles from me. He's from here. Long story short, there's a break-in across the street, and I got to track kind of the bad guys. And I did. I tracked them. I found where they cut the fence, and he and I are talking after this whole thing, and I'm explaining to him kind of what I'm doing on Facebook, and it's kind of a new thing, and I was really excited about it, and I played him the noise that I found. I found it on YouTube. He goes, oh, I know what that is. That's a Bigfoot. I thought, no way. Here's this country guy, big old guy, big, he's big dude. And for him to say that, it just it meant a lot to me. And he basically said it threw rocks, over this bluff, I think. And he actually saw it run away. Him and somebody else seen it run away. He said it was the size of a grizzly, same color as a grizzly, but he knew it wasn't a grizzly. So it was in the same time frame that I heard the noise. Let's see. I didn't tell him any of those details, right? So this all just kind of, we just kind of crossed paths like that. I forgot. I did hear it another time. I heard a second time, and it was about 3 a.m. So I started staying up at night drawing so I can focus. It's about the only time I can really sit down and just be quiet and kind of do what I do. And I haven't heard it again. I've heard a couple wood knocks. My neighbor was here one day, and man, it sounded like somebody took a Louisville Slugger, and just, I mean, that's crap. It's very distinct when you hear it. It's not just a limb just breaking. It's a totally different sound. I have a theory. You know, this is my, you know, this is kind of my thinking. The Native Americans would call them wood devils or tree devils,
Mm-hmm.
or they had a couple different names for them. And you know, the Bible mentions as above, so below, right? So you look at a tree. You know, the tree's got a trunk. It's got, you know, branches out. Well, it does the exact same thing underground, right? So you know, now that science is kind of looking into mushrooms, and uh, I'm trying to keep it kind of dumbed down a little bit. I'm not saying anything about your listeners at all. Um, I just want anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about to understand. It's called mycelium, I believe, and it's where the mushrooms are almost like a tree underground, and the mushroom is actually the fruit sticking up. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like picking an apple off the top of the ground. You know, it's not like its own little entity. It's connected underground. So there's a lot of different, you know, they say that trees can talk to each other now. You know, if one's needing this kind of nutrient or water, they can pass it. If this one has extra, it can pass it to this other one. And it just blows my mind how complex some of our natural things are. So when it comes to science, I can really go a lot of places. You know, I'm all the time doing experiments myself, and that's literally how I got here. Just doing, I did an experiment last night, you know, and it worked, you know, and you get rewarded for doing those. So I keep doing them. And that's where I learn a lot. Just trying something new, just being creative, no rules. Um, when it comes to Bigfoot, there's so many good, I mean, so many good stories that I've heard that just stick with me and they resonate. You know, they touch deep and they stay with me. And I can literally tell you every detail after hearing these stories twice. So, like, it kind of gives me goosebumps just thinking about some of the stories I've heard.
Yeah.
I've asked
Yeah,
almost every person I've ever come across.
Okay, let's go to some of these questions. We have a few questions from the audience. The first one being from Troy, my good buddy Troy, great friend of the show. Did you encounter anything paranormal while serving in the military?
Okay, so I was at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, paranormal. In the 4 years I was there, the only thing that I witnessed at all, with night vision, you can see stars that you can't see with your naked eye. So there's a couple of times where, you know, I saw something moving. You know, it looked like a star. You know, moving. Almost everything I've ever seen in my days is after 2003. I've seen a lot of different things in the sky. I've seen more aliens or more UFOs, and I've actually got a lot of that stuff on camera too. I got a red orb and a blue orb one time on camera in broad daylight. That's when I lived in Springfield. So I believe in orbs. I think that they're a thing. My phone actually roasted right after that. I thought that was odd. One night, my neighbor and I were pretty good friends across the street, and I was outside and looking at the sky, and I smoke, so I'm outside a lot, and it's just kind of a game to me, just to find things that aren't blinking and moving, and it literally looked like camera flashes, just here and there, and it was real sporadic, and it was kind of localized. And I got that on camera, and you can hear me, and I'm like, look, see, there's another one. There's another one, and I'm trying to just get somebody to witness it with me because I didn't want to be the only one. I've got that on an old phone. I've caught Starlink, satellite train. I've caught it a couple of times. I got a really good video of it. that got scrambled. Just throwing that out there. When I got my new phone, that was the only video that got scrambled.
Hmm.
I wonder how that happened.
Exactly.
If you
All
can
right,
tell,
let's go,
I don't have much of a.
yeah, let's go to the next question. Also from Troy. He's wondering if you will be at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference this year.
That one's in Colorado.
No, that's
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I'm not very traveled, so help me out here.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee.
Smoky Mountains,
Smoky
where they
Mountains.
at? Oh, okay. I guess I didn't know about that one. When is that?
It's
Yeah,
in 26 days.
Yeah, that's soon.
Oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. Okay. I won't rule anything out. How's that? I guess I haven't got the invite. Don't know yet.
I'll share the information with you.
Yeah.
Right on.
We talked about you're closer to the Missouri conference that I'm going to be speaking at this year. So hopefully we'll see you there, and Troy will be at that one as
Very
well. Troy has
Very
another
cool.
question. Troy has another question here. Have you read the Book of Enoch? And if so, what do you make of it?
I didn't read it, but I did listen to it a couple times. I've got a copy of it inside. It elaborates on a lot of different angel and earth, how things work. They say it's extra biblical, but for me personally, Enoch lived what? He basically didn't die. This is what they say. God took him. So he wrote 366 books, which is one more than the day of the week. That's somebody that I would take seriously, that I would listen to. So yeah, I'll just say I can kind of go there.
Okay. All right. Ristel has a question for you. Being that you served in Fort Campbell, have you spent time in the LBL, the Land Between the Lakes?
How far away is that from there?
I'm not sure.
I've never been there. I've heard a lot of stories about it.
Yeah, the LBL is right
There's a
on
couple stories that freak me out.
the Kentucky and Tennessee line. Troy and I actually went camping in the LBL last year, a few months ago. I'm not sure when it was, but we had a great time in there. There's a lot of Dogman encounters that come out of there, as well as Bigfoot. But yeah, it's right on the Tennessee-Kentucky border.
So it's 50 minutes. So it's less than an hour from Fort Campbell to the LBL.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so I go to an Army reunion, and the unit I was in, I believe it's not that far away from Clarksville. So maybe I need to get over there to take a look. I love walking around in the woods. To me, there's not much cooler. I'm usually looking at rocks, so I'd probably be an easy meal. If it was, if there was something stalking me, I don't know if I'd be paying attention, but
yeah. The LBL.
I mean, I'm pretty good at.
The LBL is a cool place. It's creepy as hell. There's a lot of stories from out of there. But yeah. All right, Chris, take a couple minutes, buddy, and promote anything, any websites, any projects or anything that you have coming up. Just anything you want to talk about. Here's your chance.
So you'd mentioned the Ozark Mountain Bigfoot Conference.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's in September, correct?
Yes, sir.
I could be wrong. I think it's in September. I was kind of on the fence. I wasn't sure what I had going. So that might be something I'll probably entertain now, since you're going.
Okay.
Let's see. My website. I'm trying to get it working. It's www.aos-sketch-squatch.com. And yep, that's how I started. And it was just Sketch Squatch. And I didn't know that there was already a Sketch Squatch out there. And so it took me about 8 months to figure out how to change my name on Facebook. So I added AOS because I wanted to switch gears. I really set out to share my survival stuff. To me, that was more important, with everything going on than Bigfoot. And I just thought, I'm having fun with this. I'm liking it. I love the topic anyway. So I'll just kind of take this trail for a minute, and I've always taken it seriously. But because I'm trying to break through these brick walls, I kept running into copyright strikes and different things like that, and technology issues, and that's just been, and it just hasn't stopped. But I'm learning, I'm growing. I haven't stopped. That noise I heard stuck with me, so I can't even imagine how people deal with seeing like the full creature, right there in front of you. I'm kind of glad I didn't see that, because I don't know if I'd be here talking.
Yeah.
You mentioned things I've got going on. I'm just trucking along. I'm using the AI now, which is kind of a new, using the AI images. Here's something I'd like to throw out there. Let's say you've created an AI image and it's really close and you like it, but it's got like 3 fingers, or it's got an extra toe or something. I can fix a lot of that now. I've taught myself a way to do it. So I would like to do that for any content creators. We can work something out. It wouldn't be very expensive, I don't believe. Just a couple hours of, send it over. I could play with it, send it back, just like that.
Okay.
I'm trying to use AI as much as I didn't want to. I've avoided all this technology like crazy. I just figured it's literally grown 10 times worse or bigger or more invasive than I ever thought it would in my lifetime. So I figured I'd got some catching up to do.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I appreciate you taking the time to come and hang out with us tonight. Sorry that
No problem.
we weren't able to stick with the original date, but we stuck with it and got you on here, and I appreciate it.
Don't worry about it. No problem. Hey,
Yes.
I've got a couple more stories that I've heard that are local. If you've got a minute.
Okay, yeah, share them.
I'll try to be as quick as I can. One of my wife's coworkers, her dad has a handprint on one of his windows, and it's been there for over a year now. The way it is, it's really high up, and it doesn't get rained on, right? And I've seen it. I've got a picture of it, and he's a good guy. He's a truth telling guy, and he's had quite a few experiences. And they're probably 2 or 3 hours from here. And I actually went out there because I was curious. And I tell you, that's about some of the best stories I've ever heard from anybody I've ever talked to in Missouri. One of my good friends, he actually used to work nights at Walmart. And he came home one night and he saw what looked like, he said, 3 football players at the end of the street, 2 or 3 in the morning. And as he drives up, he sees this and they're coming towards him. He makes his left in his driveway, runs in the house, left his truck running all night long.
Damn.
That's not like this guy. That is not like this guy. So something was off there. That one's always really kind of stuck out to me because I get I get being that scared that you don't want to take a look, and you saw enough, and it just like that's kind of what I had to do out in the woods. I saw the thing. I just tried to write it off and move on with my life and not focus on it. But something about that noise, I really think that infrasound
Yeah.
is a real thing, because like I said, I've never felt like that. It felt like a rock concert, that vibration, sitting next to a subwoofer. It kind of did that to me. And I estimated it was 25, maybe 30 yards away.
Well, and that's what we hear. It just from everybody who explains the infrasound, it's the same exact description. The same description you just gave.
I've heard a lot of people that they kind of get frozen almost. And I had a momentary, I was almost like mid-step, because I stood up when I first heard it. And I was trying to be quiet, and I almost felt like I got stuck. And I thought, man, I don't care if it kills me. I have to know. And, I didn't see anything, but I recently heard an encounter. There's another military guy, and he described almost exactly, it was almost exactly what little thing I had.
Right.
And I could tell.
Yeah.
I could hear it in his voice.
Yeah, and the guest that we had on Tuesday, that's what he described it as well. It's that percussive, sound.
Recently I've found some things here on my property, and I have to be really careful because, I don't really want to lose it, but I found some teeth, and I didn't know what to do with them, and they were in, they look like people teeth, but bigger. And I didn't want to come out and say, hey, look, I got Bigfoot teeth, but I've made some friends, and I'm pretty sure that they're some kind of a critter that's been fossilized. But it's increasing. I keep finding more stuff every day, and we've gotten so much rain this year that I've found some other things that, I'm getting excited. I'm finding joints. Like I said, it's not Bigfoot necessarily, but you can tell they're big creatures, whatever they were. So to me, it's in that category.
Oh yeah.
I got a good one. Last one. My friend saw a centaur. Okay. And yep, check this out. This is a really cool story. So him and his brother, they're twins, and they were hockey. They were playing hockey, so they're driving to St. Louis. Well, one night, one's driving, the other's sleeping. Well, he wakes up and sees his brother's all kind of like freaked out, and he tells him what he saw. Told me, said he saw centaur running down the road, and then when he looked in the rearview mirror, he saw red eyes. And I just kind of stuck that in the back of my head. Never heard anything like that. And a couple of years ago, I just got this wild idea. I'm like, I'm going to Google that, see what pops up. And Google that stretch of road at the same time. And there were other people who have seen it that weren't even connected. Yep. And I guarantee you could probably look it up.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, if you listen to Odd Virginia, now we had Alex on as a guest months and months ago, but if you listen to the podcast Odd Virginia, he had a guest, and I think her name was Deborah. But here in Virginia is where he's located. He's like an hour away from me. But there was actually, I think it was that lady who came on because she saw the same thing, but in Virginia.
Wow.
Wild.
Yep. So
there's so much going on, guys. There's so much going on. I don't know what to make of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I usually try real hard not to share my original images, but something about this one really sticks out to me, and it kind of matches up with a lot of the video, that you see. It's kind of far off, and you can kind of make out it's got short hair, kind of got a semi-pointy head, sloping shoulders, and, just every once in a while I'll nail it in my eyes. And I felt like this one really kind of, and I've noticed when I do get one that I feel like is close, I feel like the numbers correlate. like other people feel it too, or they recognize some. There's something about us that's maybe subconscious or instinctive, where we kind of have this, fear, maybe something that kind of speaks out. So something I've kind of noticed. So I didn't set out to be a researcher, but I'm an unofficial researcher, and I really didn't. I didn't want to be. That's
Well, Chris, as Risto just said, you have an amazing gift. You are very, very
Thank you.
talented. And yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to come on with us tonight. And I know it was a little disappointing that we couldn't get you on a little while back, but we stuck with it and we got you on. And I'm so, so very grateful that we did, buddy. Keep up the amazing work, and we'll be in touch soon.
Hope to see you at Ozark. Nice to meet you. It was nice talking to you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
Likewise.
All right, good stuff.
Yes. Always.
I know we've been excited about that one for a little while. I know we had a little bit of technical issues in the beginning, but we got him on, and he got to share a lot of his stuff, and we were able to share a lot of his artwork. He's so talented. He really is.
And you'll have to send him a message about the baby Bigfoot one you were gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah, I will contact him because I do the baby Bigfoot one. I want his permission to use that as a tattoo for Scarlett.
Yeah.
I have a tattoo for all of my children except for Scarlett. And, she's the newest one. She just turned 3. I want a tattoo for her. And I want to be able to use that one as her tattoo. So he and I will talk about that. I don't think you'll have a problem with it.
No. I don't either.
All right. What we got coming up, ma'am?
Oh, let's see. Let me look at our little schedule here because it's busy.
Our schedule.
You've been hampering on me about my talking since we got on here. We have Tim, who is a paranormal investigator, coming up on Tuesday, and Mr. Chad Garcia on the 6th, this coming Saturday.
Yes, we do. And later in July, we will be at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. I cannot wait for that. It cannot get here soon enough for me.
I know. Like that whole week for us, we're going to be gone because me and Zach are going to the beach in 22 days for our very first ever honeymoon, even though we've been married for 25 years. And then when we come home, it'll be my birthday. And then the next day we're leaving to go to Tennessee, and we'll be gone for 3 days.
I can't wait. God, I can't wait. I can't wait to finally get to meet you, Mr. Tiffany, in person. And we'll get to hang out with Brian. I've never met Danny. Danny's going to be there, so we'll get to hang out with him. I talked to Johnny Tucker the other day. He was excited about the conference. He is still planning on being at the cabin for our cookout. Troy is going to cook for us.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. And I'm going to be like, I'm just going to warn you, okay, because I'm a dork. And we'll be sitting beside each other, and I'll just reach over and I'll just poke you. I'll be like, I can touch you.
Yeah, you're a dork.
No, I'm a dork.
Of course, we'll have to do the conference on Saturday.
Yes,
but
the 27th.
Yeah. I'm more excited about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
The Friday night, getting there at the cabin, the hanging out, and going to the conference on Saturday, and then the cookout on Saturday night, and then just hanging out on Sunday. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Ristel said, what did he say? Wayne, I heard Harley was going to be there. Okay. He's not going to be speaking or anything like that. What's he going to be doing? Walking around,
Probably.
sharing
No,
his
Robin.
pictures of nothing.
We've never met. We just work together virtually, and I occasionally stick the virtual foot up his ass.
Yeah, Tiffany lives in Virginia. I live in Tennessee. We have never met in person. I have hung out with Brian a few times, but never Tiffany.
Nope.
What's Mr. Tiffany apologizing in advance for?
Because I'm a dork. And you're
Has he got our banana hammock ready?
honey, I'm telling you what, he will order them on Amazon right the heck now. I'm telling you.
Chris Blaylock says, "Can't wait to see you guys at the Smoky
Yes,
Mountain
she's
Conference."
coming too.
Awesome,
Yes.
thank you. I can't wait to meet you, man. We'll get a picture, all that cool stuff. I can't wait.
Yeah, we get to meet because she's a member and Troy's a member, and we need to tell good old Johnny Tucker he needs to come on over to the freakish side. Maybe not like that. Like, don't say it like that because that's weird, but
All right, well, let's get out of here.
yes.
Say your goodbyes.
Goodbye, you guys. I'm gonna go to bed because it's almost midnight. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you Tuesday.
All right, guys. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us. Please rate and review any chance you get. Until we talk to y'all again, till we see y'all again, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.